Okay, I got it loose. I found the secret is to this type of connection. If you can mash on the top part, mash in toward the wires, pinch it, and this part right here spreads out, and that causes it to release. So, let me move the camera angle, and we'll pull out the board. So, this is causing a little bit of resistance. I'll move it up out of the way. There we are. We pulled the whole module out. I'll go set it on the counter now and follow the rest of the instructions and see where the color wheel is. I've got the optical module sitting on the counter now so I can get to it. Here's the other fan, which is free flowing, so obviously there's no evidence that anything is. I think the next thing I want to do is get the vacuum cleaner and go over it and get a little bit of dust off of it, and also get the dust out from inside the cabinet that this came from. Okay, the next thing we'll do is remove this large fan. There's 3 screws that are holding it on. These screws are brass with the washer underneath. So I'll put these in a special bag and label them so I'll know where they go later. Next, you'll notice there's a blue and a black wire. That is the temperature control wire, and we'll need to disconnect it. It's this one. It's those screws that I took out of the fan. I'm going to put them on this piece of masking tape, fold it over, and write fan screws on there so I'll know where they came from later. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is remove the fan wheel, or the color wheel cover. I believe there's 2 screws holding it on. Remove the cover wheel cover. That is a Torx screw. I need a different type of screwdriver. Well, I don't have a Torx screwdriver that size, so I'm going to use this smaller Phillips head. And be careful not to strip it. It's coming. As soon as I finish this one, the next one that we'll need to get out is that silver one right there. Okay, I got both of them out there. Those two silver screws. The next thing we'll want to do before we pull out, we should just be able to lift out the color wheel. But before we do, we'll want to pull out with our fingers. This is just a cable that's just slipped down in a slot, and we'll need to lose this because both of these are connected to the color wheel, and they'll be coming out when we pull the color wheel out. So we'll gently lift out this cable. Maybe easier said than done. I saw a video of someone else doing it. Well, I got it up. It wasn't all that gentle. It looks like it crimped it a little bit, but I trust no harm done. Next, let's see what it takes to get this little fella out. You'll notice this one is, it's 3 wires in a socket. The blue strip is closest to me on this side, the others are gray. Now, from internet comments, other people that have done this, these are the 2 most delicate wires and where they had the most problem. Now and they've broken this connector in the process of getting it off. Now this connector is really going to be part of the new color wheel. So if you break it, I guess all is not lost, but I don't want to break it. I want to, and what I should have done over here on this copper wire, I pinched it like that when I was pulling it up. I should have just slipped a pencil or something wood instead of metal under there and just gently pried it up. But I didn't damage it, didn't hurt it. Now this one, I'm just going to pop it out with my screwdriver, and you can see that was very easy to do. So now there's a piece of tape that's holding both of these in place. So we'll just pull the tape loose, and probably use it later, that piece of tape later. Now then, we're ready to pull the color wheel up. Now, I had assumed this was a color wheel cover. I don't believe it is the color wheel cover. I think it's actually the color wheel itself. But this model of Samsung does not have a cover for the color wheel. So, let's see if it will come loose. It doesn't appear to loose. It appears to be tightly connected. There is another tiny little bitty itsy bitsy screw down in this hole. I don't know that it needs to come up. So let's see what's going on. Well, the color wheel itself seems to be resisting my attempts. It does wiggle. Ah, there we go. About the time I was ready to give up, it decided to cooperate. So let me back this out a little bit so we can see. And go ahead and lift. There, it just comes straight out, and sure enough, there's lots of pieces of glass. Here's the color wheel, and you can see it is broken. And down in there, I'll show you, There's lots of pieces of glass or whatever it's made out of. And this is, you can hear it squealing a little bit. This thing rotates at 9,000 RPMs, I believe. And when I order a new color wheel, then this whole contraption that I'm holding in my hand is what will be sent. What we'll need to do is go down inside here, and you can see the fragments of what broke, and that's probably, when we heard a popping noise, that's probably what we heard, was that thing breaking. So let's go order a new one. Now you'll notice I never did remove the lamp, the projector lamp, nor its housing. Some instructions on the internet that you see have people removing those. For this model of mine, that wasn't necessary. Well, since the lamp I'd already previously checked and saw that it was in good shape, there was never any reason to remove it. So all we've got to do now is wait for the new color wheel to arrive and put this baby back together. Now, very cleverly labeled 2 screws, color wheel 2 screws. Put them in this piece of masking tape, so I would have no trouble knowing where the screws are that go here and back here. Remember, these are the screws that look like they may be a Torx or something like that, but I want to use this really small head Phillips head screwdriver. It worked okay when we got ready to take them out. And I'm going to screw this down before I hook the cables on, just so it'll be staying tightly in place. This okay, where did it go? Oh, there it is. And now that we've got these screws tight, nice and snug, we're going to take these 2 wires, this one, and it's just going to slip down into that slot there, and this one, you notice it's got one of the 3 strands is colored. We're going to put that one, the colored one is going to go to the left, the left way we're looking at now. I'll go into that spot right there. So let's do that.